David Cameron hopes homes like these could help. He came to a building site outside Manchester to say that a scheme to help more people buy houses would start next week, 3 months earlier than expected. And he rejected claims it could fuel a house price boom.
I'm not going to stand back while people's aspirations to get on the housing ladder, to own their own flat, to own their own home, are being trashed. That's why we need to act.
Under the scheme, the government will guarantee part of people's mortgages, so they only have to pay a deposit of 5% of the value of the home. It'll be available on new and existing properties worth up to £600,000. In contrast, the Prime Minister said Labour's big idea for the cost of living, freezing energy prices, was anti-competitive. What was needed, he said, was more competition. And raising business taxes was nuts.
The only way to sustainably raise living standards is to keep the recovery going, and the economy is now moving, to keep on creating jobs, and we're creating those jobs, to keep on cutting the deficit, because that keeps interest rates and, crucially, mortgage rates low, and to keep on cutting people's taxes.
So there are now clear differences between the parties. The Conservatives say only a growing economy can raise living standards. Labour say no, government has to act too to keep prices down. And while inside the conference centre they're praising Margaret Thatcher, out here on the streets of Manchester they're shouting Tory scum. It's quite nostalgic. The police estimated 50,000 people took to the streets in a union-backed rally to protest against government spending cuts, particularly to the NHS. And as for their calls for higher taxes on the rich, well, David Cameron ruled out any mansion tax while he's Prime Minister.
Sir, you need to be looking at defence. This is denial, not defence.
Gentlemen.
Even in the hall, the Tories could not escape the price of austerity, as 2 retired soldiers heckled the Defence Secretary in protest at cuts to their battalion. At this conference, you can't escape the people the party says it wants to help. But to win their vote, the people at this conference are going to have to work hard too. James Landau, BBC News, Manchester.
Well, the government is hoping the